It's different when you want something so bad that you know you can do. You have to rely on everybody else being as great as you are to match your speed. And if they're not there, they're just not there. And there's nothing you could do. You can't force greatness with somebody else.
Okay,
Look
queen.
at you. Okay, red lips. See here, we're
I try
new.
to think with my lipstick.
No, you're definitely day party ready.
You
It's
know.
not there. I'm too early to arrive just yet. So I'm still Nyla's in recess. I'm in English teacher mode.
Oh,
So
girl.
I let her run around in the yard until I'm done and then get back to mothering.
Our little Nyla, how is she?
She's not little, okay? There's no
She's a whole woman.
She is 3 going on 4.
Oh my God, does she have a whole little English accent?
This is the thing. I was just about to bring this up. She is the most American kid.
Oh no, what did her do?
I don't know what happened. Like, she did it the other day, and this is only because she started watching Peppa Pig. So she's like, Mum, where's George? I'm
oh
like,
my God, I really want her to have an English accent
no,
so bad.
I don't think it's going to happen. I think she's the most American kid. Mommy, can I have some water? And I'm like,
where is it coming from?
Who knows?
Well, your accent's a little, it's adapted a little bit. It's been a minute since you've been here.
Yeah, you know, my accent is all over the place. I'm either Philadelphian or used to get the Amtrak up to New York, and then I'd be on the West Coast. So
but we hear the Liverpool. We hear it.
Caribbean is still in there, so I'll take it. But my accent is schizophrenic for sure.
I'm gonna need for you to figure out a way to instill within your daughter. If you have to whisper it to her, put headphones on her at night.
I do. I promise you.
We need for her to have the accent.
That can. Peppa Pig, OD, we will, because she
needs the accent. She has your whole face.
She's
like right in between.
She's like a little bit in between, and she's
maybe
slightly
60-40.
darker than me now at the summertime. So she's her dad all day.
Oh my gosh,
like,
she's the cutest. She's so cute. I remember when you announced your pregnancy at Essence Fest.
Man,
I was like,
I was so happy. I just remember being in this euphoric, like state of amazement, because who knew? I told my entire band, like, rewind a year prior to that Essence Fest, and I told them that Essence. I was like, by next year, I'm going to be in love, and I'm probably going to be getting married and having kids. By no means did I have a boyfriend yet. But
okay, manifestation.
Listen, call it like you want to see it for real. So I did, and I got there, and I'm like,
wow,
Essence. And I'm celebrating. I did the celebration for Prince that year. So I'm in rehearsal with Larry Graham and the band, and I'm just standing there going, I'm holding on to new life. I found out I was pregnant right as I found out Prince had passed.
Oh wow, really?
It was a highly emotional year. Oh, and by the time I got to Essence Fest, it was like, hey, I'm having a girl, and I'm very excited. And
we were excited
to embark on life now. I think my years prior to that, showing up at Essence Fest, had been strictly work or trying to get to see Prince anytime that I could. And I remember doing a show there and getting off stage from my own show to go and watch D'Angelo do How Does It Feel? And I told my crowd, I said, listen here, super loud. Right now, the way Essence is set up, why do they have the best go on during?
Because I couldn't even see you that year. I remember, because I was like, well, I'm going to be in place for Prince, and I'm going to be.
No. My mom was like, do you want me to meet you? I said, no, Mom, I want you to watch me.
I don't know what to do with myself.
You're not about to leave me on my own stage. But yeah, Essence, absolutely wonderful experience, and I'm so glad to share that moment and crash P. Diddy's stage as he performed a segment of Say Yes with 112, and I was like, this is my cue. Main stage, everybody!
You were like, is that right? So
I'll take it.
I'll take it. Well, it was really a lovely moment. I remember that, I remember you saying, because, you know, you always, because when you're covering Essence Festival as a journalist, you're like, that is a story. So it was just so cool to see you embrace that, because I know that you said before you were nervous about this pregnancy and where you were in your life at the time.
Oh, it was so fast. It was a snowball of, oh my God, is this lust? No, it's not. It's love. I love him. This is forever. Oh, we're pregnant. Okay, I'm engaged to be married. Let's go.
Like, you was on a roll.
Going whirlwind of absolute bliss. Still in honeymoon phase, like 5 years later. So by the time we got pregnant, it's like, I'd never been in that position before. This is absolutely real, and we're in it, and I have someone that's in it with me, and all the things that I did pray for and ask for and request are coming to fruition. And I'm like, okay, what did I do to deserve this for real? Because I did ask for this, I did pray for this, and I did want this. Okay, now I'm panicking. Now it's really,
when you actually get what you pray for, you're panicking.
Well, I think everyone does that. It's really,
because you don't think it's real.
No, not even a little bit. Like, I remember me and my cousin were talking about something. She was like, no, I really prayed today. And that made me laugh so much. I was like, what do you mean you really prayed? Like, we just prayed. You know, no, I really prayed this time. And I remembered that since the day she said it, and every affirmation or any energy I've given out to what I consider my relationship with the Lord or whoever you believe in. I had those conversations, and now it's happened, and I'm here and happy. And the part of my life where I was so fixated on what was just a career, you know, I put so much emphasis onto my career, friendships, relationships outside of just wanting a loving one for my own. That this was never going to be a thing. Not never going to be a thing, but couldn't see it being a thing. I meet Des, and we do connect in that way. And that was the summer of 2015. We're pregnant by April 2016. You know, we had
fast track. You being nasty on the tour bus.
We're engaged to be married the end of that year. We get married the following year. We moved to Vegas. We've lived here almost 3 years, and it's been 5 years for us now, just in love. Mm. 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 I've got a quarantine babe.
Listen, that's what everybody's like, Sierra, what are you praying for? Marsha, what is it? What do we, hello, Jesus. Do we talk to you or directly to God, or which way do we go?
It's your personal spiritual relationship, and you have to be honest with yourself as to what that is. I mean, growing up in England, I was Church of England, so I went to church before I even went to school. It was assembly was held at St. John's.
Sounds Southern American as well.
Yeah, so, and it's different coming to America. Then I never went to, you know, the Southern Baptist Church, and that whole choir is singing. It's really, really soulful. No, I was strict word. A hymn, and then go home.
Straight back.
So my relationship with who I perceived my Lord to be was what I created it to be. You know, so by the time I do get to America, and I've got cousins over here, and I've got new family and new friends over here that go to their churches, and I'm realizing this is a whole other experience. This is a different depth of belief and receiving of the word, and it came through the type of music that I was getting from, you know, my musicians who are all church based. And I'm like, I feel this on a whole other level. So the conversations I was having were different now. I was coming into womanhood. I got here at age 22. So that's 20 plus years ago, showing my age. Absolutely, you can Google it.
Well, you look,
I've earned these years. So coming into womanhood that early and having to have that relationship spiritually was because I took a leap of faith, literally. I said, me and homie, Nat, the flowicist, we are going to go to Atlanta on a free trip, do an open mic gig, and see what happens. Who does that? People who absolutely have faith do that. You know, I didn't have no connect, no nothing. I had a homeboy in New Jersey, that was playing basketball for a high school out there and had a demo tape that I did. We played it for a Philadelphia promoter, and I got flued out to Philly. And my connection with Philly was, it was surreal because I felt a sense of belonging there. Like I'd been there before, that didn't know anybody. I think my cousin was going to Temple University at the time, and I didn't know that. And I remember seeing her in the crowd at the 5 spots, looking at her, going, "She looks exactly like me."
Like, is that
my Aunt Beryl. Is that Auntie Beryl? Like, why did you say it? She's like, "Gosh," and I'm like, "Fifi!" And
wow.
it was this wow moment that, okay, this was meant to be. I'm comfortable now. And even getting to meet the producers that I ended up working with early, Darren Henson, who did Floetic and Subliminal and Wanna Be Where You Are, so many others. He looks exactly like my brother. So I was like, I'm comfortable with you. You look like a family member.
You just
so
want to people everywhere.
Yeah, so it was like Philadelphia just said, "Come here, Marsh, come to us, come now." And I stayed, and here we are years later to go, you know what? Thank goodness I made them decisions. Whether it was higher power or not, I know what I believe.
Yeah. Amen. Who are you, however you would like to say that, however you would like to qualify yourself, and what is one thing that you love most about yourself?
I'm Geraldine's daughter, Paul Ambrosius' daughter, first and foremost. Nyla's mother. I feel like I don't remember not being that, even though she's only 3. I feel like all roads led to me embodying that portion of myself. Like I've been trained to be Nyla's mother this entire time. Dez's wife, I'm her wholeheartedly. And what I love the most about myself is I'm always me. Under any circumstances, good, bad, or indifferent, you're gonna get Marsh.
Show up as you. that's refreshing, and that's got to feel good for yourself as well. Like, you just who you are. I feel that because that's how I am.
Yeah, it's being in this industry as a Black woman, on both sides, it's almost like we're in the same field because you're self-critiquing as well as doing the work.
Right.
In aspects. So it's, what's my purpose? How am I being perceived, and why do I care? And the last part is the part that you really have to go, okay, well, why am I doing this? And why would I care what anybody else thinks? It's, can I just do? Can I just be?
Exactly.
And that's the most important aspect. So for me, it's just go ahead and be you, boo-boo.
Go ahead and be you, boo-boo. I love it. Put it on a t-shirt. Right. I want to talk about Nyla, that little gorgeous little nugget. She's so cute. I'm curious about your motherhood and how you feel about the way that you are as a mom.
I will say this, my patience level is commendable, knowing how much patience I don't have. So my gosh, you know what? You're doing really, really well, because old Marsh, you that just left, like, it's been over with. And I feel like, I can't remember, it might have been last week, I remember saying to Des, I was like, babe, I'm throwing in the towel today.
Oh no.
Yeah. Oh, I was done. It was over with. She had my number.
She called it a million times.
I feel like she woke up like, got her. So, and she did. And I was like, I couldn't imagine not having the person that's riding with me and for me in this to be able to go, babe, you're going to have to take the reins, because I can't. And probably in that moment, it was both. It was, Marsh, we're gonna get up tomorrow. We're gonna do way better than this. But thank you have someone there with you that understands what this is and allows you to get your ish together. And his mother is just allowing myself that patience. This is all very new for for everyone in it. And there's no handbook for this. There's no manual. There's no right
At
or wrong.
all. That's scary to me.
I'm letting go all the judgment, all the judginess that I would ever give, you know, a mother in a supermarket that has an 8-year-old in a stroller. I'm like, they're 8, get up. You know what? Now the time is cooking. She's as heavy as she gets when she's tired. I get it. You keep that 8-year-old in that stroller and you roll around and get your groceries. I'm with you.
Listen.
Oh, I can't judge anybody. Nobody. However you're getting it done, get it done, because it's not easy.
I commend
But
all of you that choose the route.
Beautiful thing you could ever experience, and I'm thankful for it.
Yeah, God bless y'all. I mean, I may get there, but it just seems like a lot of responsibility.
I was cool
a whole person
for so many years. My nephew Sky about to be 16 this year. Tay Tay's what, 7, 8? It's ridiculous. So I was so comfortable with that. Auntie Marshy, fun Marshy, let's go to Disney World, woo! And then I could give them back. And it was great.
Dirty, wet, however.
Oh, goodness gracious. So I get it. And to whomever wants the experience, I wish you nothing but blessings in the process, and go for it. If that's your calling, go do it. But yeah, it's real.
I know it gets so real. But do you have like the moments now that she's 3 and like a person? Do you see yourself in her, or like what kind of was that the kind of kid you were?
Oh no, it's too much, to the point where I've been taken aback by it. Like Lord, what you have, I getting to see who I was and why, and how I can shape what this young human is that has all of these ideas and ideals of her own. And I'm like, I've literally gone in a time machine to watch me grow.
It freaks me. There's so many parts of this that freak me out. I was like, I would get like a little me.
It's ridiculous.
And have to rewatch me.
Right. And I see her dad in her also, because I'm so close to his side of the family. Also, their characteristics. I'm like, this human has taken every piece of us and said, hey, at 3, I'm me. Hello. Deal with it.
And babies are just unapologetically them.
So
you're just seeing like raw you, raw husband.
Raw me at 3 that has her own idea of what life is. And
that's what you want your kid to have, right?
It's wild, because I remember waking up in the middle of the night and crying my eyes out. It was early enough where I could call my mother, because she's 8 hours ahead of me. So it's 2 in the morning my time, 3 in the morning, 8 hours ahead of her. So I call her and she's like, what's wrong? What's wrong? I was like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. She's like, what are you sorry for? I said everything.
I get it.
Everything. I get it. But every time she's like, oh, give me a hug. Oh, get off me. Oh, no, Jesus, why would you reject me like this? It's now ridiculous. Stuff you apologize for. I'm like, I wasn't good enough as a daughter. I was terrible. I'm so sorry for all the things I've been through.
That's also a part of it. I don't know who they are, but they say that you get your child back to you tenfold. So like you still have to go through those teenage years.
Help me,
Marsha. What was good?
Listen, I
was a dorky little teenager.
Yeah, I'm anticipating that, but I'm also looking forward to it, because I'm thankful to be in the position that my parents were in, where I can go, I've been there, done that. I like to remember myself looking at it, but you've never done this. You never had Instagram, did you? You didn't have to do it.
It's a whole new layer of
so
raising that they didn't experience. You're right.
Yeah. So that there are things that I know she'll be able to throw in my face, but there are things that she just won't. And that little girl is such a bundle of joy and so emotional, so ready already. I just have to be ready for it.
She's a little, yeah, she's smart. I remember I think it was last festival and you were holding her. It was backstage and I was like, oh, Marsha, the baby. And I asked for a picture with you guys and she was like,
like, do we not? She literally gives me the.
You were like, she's not going to.
Are we cool with this? Are we cool with this? I'm like, bruh.
She was like, I don't even.
Yeah, she's territorial when it comes to her parents.
No, I appreciate her. The shade was definitely real. It was real. I can't help but notice there's a record on display behind you.
What's
that?
These are a couple of plaques that are in my office. This is the Michael Jackson Platinum and Flow Tree Gold.
The Michael Jackson Platinum, you said?
Yeah, you know, just names on it, like certain things with names on it. You just have to.
Girl, the Michael. Can we talk about Michael Jackson?
Listen.
What kind of superhero are you?
He smelled so good. That thing was custom. It had to be a custom fragrance
because people always ask me with celebrities, oh my God, what do they smell like?
Oh, he smelled like every single day, Mike. And he would just start laughing. He had this, what would he wear? This burgundy, like, dress shirt. He had a black leather Versace jacket, looked custom too. But he smelled so good. Paris and Prince.
Was he like swaggy?
Toddlers at the time, very, very, like his presence, and he was tall, his hands were big, like his presence was otherworldly. So by the time I'm around him for a while, sitting there, and I remember, you know, a week in, the first day, you know, I'm crying uncontrollably. I'm like, I can't believe this is my life. This is happening to me.
Because you were like, what, 23?
I'm telling him what to do every day. So I was in New York at the Hit Factory when the Hit Factory was there in Manhattan.
And you were like 23 years old at that time?
Oh, yeah, 23.
Like, that's the part that I'm just like.
March of 2001, I'm in the studio with him. So little 23-year-old Marsh with I had a blonde afro at the time that I would braid down to get into the studio with, work mode. So any picture surfacing of me and Mike, it's with my blonde afro or my blonde braids. And can I sing? He would play with my hair. And I'm like, oh, you can take it out. And so I like the fro. I like the fro more. I like the fro. And I was like, okay. Fro was out every other day.
Because he's so black and we love him.
It was weird because I'm there during the time he's being inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So I remember him calling me at the studio. I'd gotten in there early, and he was like, "Is it okay if I miss today? I'm not going to be able to come in. Is it okay?" He's asking me if it's okay if he comes.
No, Michael Jackson.
You don't even have to come at all. Like, I'm just gonna be in here. I'm good. But he was like, I'm being inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Of course you are.
Day one MTV every day was all Mike videos. So I'm looking at ABC Mike. I'm looking at, you know, Dancing Machine Mike. I'm looking at Billie Jean, Thriller, Bad. I'm getting all of these, Remember the Times. I'm looking at every single Michael, knowing that I'm sitting with that guy, and to look into his eyes and him never lose that feeling that he gave me. I remember sitting in Thriller and going, oh my God, he could get the draws. I was probably too young to even acknowledge that was.
Did you tell him that?
What did I? I was like, listen here, Varsity Jacket, Black Werewolf, Thriller Mike. You listen here.
Oh, Michael, please, with the jacket.
Listen, I was like, Michael holding my hand through the woods, Michael.
Oh
and I was like, I used to watch The Making Thriller every day, and I was like, Mike.
It's so good.
Stop, Mars, stop. He's telling me to stop. Listen here. You need to hear it from me, and I need to get it out of my system, because I wouldn't be me if I didn't tell you you could get the job.
Something years old with Michael, like, what?
Because you're a kid. In Thriller, I was however old. Now I'm a grown woman. Think I'm a grown woman. 23 at the time, and I was like, this is my shot. Shoot your shot, Marsh. Mike, listen here. Thriller Mike. Black Werewolf Varsity Jacket Mike. could
Mike
get
has
it.
had
He
several
turned
Bay moments
around and
throughout his
said,
life.
"Go away," and I was like, "Oh, what in the horror movie is this turning me on? Why?"
But interesting choices for you, Marsha, I must say.
Sorry, thank you.
Werewolf Bay, Michael Jackson jacket.
I just think for that black werewolf.
Listen, well, what a life, girl. What?
I know.
What?
It's still crazy to be able to press play on that song and know what we put into it. Even from doing the demo, telling Andre Harris, like, look, I have this song and I play the keys, and it's like, yo, that's fly. And we work on it that one night and leave it alone because it was on repeat, like all night. I'd never wanted to hear the song again. The next day, when everyone hears it, they were like, yo, this is a bop. This is it. This is the jam. This is the one that catapults you into the stratosphere.
It's a one.
It wasn't even for Michael Jackson.
One.
It's just a song. So when he gets to hear it through John McClain, who was his personal manager at the time, and we're trying to sign to DreamWorks, who we end up signing with, that's how that demo gets played. And not only do we get the Floetic album out of that, but we get Butterflies with Michael Jackson. It's mad.
And you can't even pick between the versions.
Well,
if we're being honest with ourselves, but I know he loves your version. So.
I love his version. He loves my version.
Well, your version, it just because that's what it's meant to be, and I'm sure that's what it sounded like to you.
All demos do
and
that.
Michael's version is
demoitis and the pureness of the initial, it's the initial thought.
It's so good.
So it wasn't even about making any mistakes. It was like, this is how I feel right now. And I remember at 16 years old playing the piano, and I had the bridge and the chorus already. I think I only changed maybe
16. Marsha Ambrosius.
I know. She was a whole other person.
16, and you said this before about a dude that worked at the McDonald's.
Yeah, in Camberwell.
Butterflies.
And last year, August, we all went to the family vacation, went to that McDonald's, and I stood outside there with Nyla, and I'm like, babe, you have no clue. Your mother in a school uniform with my tie on,
your whole life,
little briefcase bag, standing here. Even though we lived like 5 minutes up the street, I didn't even need to go to that bus stop. I just wanted to be there with all my friends while they got on buses, and I could go there and look at who I thought at that time was the Mr. Dalvin of.
Where in the world is little Mr. McDonald's now?
Who knows?
Does he even know Butterflies?
I know.
That's incredible. I would be so upset if I knew it was me. Like, did he know you liked him, or you were just staring at him through the window?
No, I think maybe he knew, but I was young. I was the neighborhood chick who had a basketball in her hand or was running to a talent show.
A little basketballer.
Yeah, it was nothing to do with.
I cannot even believe you. 16.
I know.
But you know how it was when you were 16. Like, the end of the world was always happening when you were 16.
Oh yeah, it was
the emotions.
And,
that's when this best.
It was desperate. It was, if I don't get all of these emotions and feelings out,
we should have all been writing at 16.
Watched Beetlejuice yesterday. Winona Ryder when she said,
"Oh yeah,
I'm alone. I am utterly alone." I was like, I feel you. I've been there at 16.
So sad about it. So emo.
Yeah. But with pure emotion and raw feelings came music. Because at the time, playing basketball simultaneously with my newfound love for New Jack Swing and Uptown Records, God rest his soul, Andre Harrell. But that was my initial premise to make music because of the Uptown movement. When I heard Jodeci, it was it. I was like, who is that? And what?
I love it.
No one listening to these harmonies. Couldn't understand what was happening. So you get Jodeci, Mary J. Blige, Horace Brown, MC and the Boys, Father MC,
Brown,
Horace.
Girl.
1 for the money, 2 for the show. He was on it. Christopher Williams.
Oh my gosh.
Some singers waiting to the end for that. Williams, with his all the fine self, said from jump, this is what we're doing. And I was open because of that.
I
So
love
the
that.
season I'm playing basketball where all of this is happening, I tear ligaments and I was out for the season, or so I thought. And I remember watching Michael Jordan's Come Fly With Me documentary every day. And I wrote the song If I Was a Bird that ended up being on the Floetic album.
Look at you.
Crazy.
Girl, I can't
Crazy how
have
things
a
work out.
16-year-old writing butterflies. Now
No,
so since we
butterflies,
had this,
sunshine, If I Was a Bird, all around about the same time.
that's
So, yeah.
crazy. So we
Yeah.
had you as this songwriter genius, basketball star could have been, but you know, the injuries. Why didn't you write anything for the Love and Basketball soundtrack? What's good?
I wasn't
Too early?
ready for that time. That movie was already made. I think I got to Philadelphia the
I feel like
year
you
that was
deserve.
going to be in the theaters. So I remember sitting there, and that scene where they play one-on-one, and Michelle and Cello's "Fool of Me" comes on, and I remember just either like going underneath my sweat, and I'm crying thinking
This is
about
my life.
Davidson, a boyfriend of, I'm 14, 15 at the time, thinking it was going to be forever. And I'm like, this is my life.
I
You guys
understand.
don't understand. This is my life. So yeah,
The agony.
all time, one
Oh
of
my
my,
gosh. No, that would have been the synergy of it all.
yeah.
We need to figure out a way to get you.
More love and basketballs though, for sure.
You're literally loving basketball all over you.
That's my life. I married it. That's it. This household and basketball, oh my goodness, we're terrible. We're too competitive.
Are you still really, really good? Like, are you still like?
Yes. You could say what? Yes.
Still killing it.
We are. No, I play sensibly. I play like I've got to go to work tomorrow or something. So yeah, but my husband and I invested in one of those shoot guns that pass you the ball back in the yard. So we've got like a really good half court.
You don't even need nobody else. You just out there.
No, we go ham back here. It's nice, and I'm glad to still have that part in my life, because if I miss anything, I miss basketball. I do. Oh. So the last dance, I'm living my hoop.
Living your dreams through.
Listen, I remember I don't know. I don't want to spoil anything for anyone, but anyone watching The Last Dance and saw the last two episodes, 7 and 8, and Michael Jordan, first of all, stepping away from the game, saying, I can't do this. My dad just passed away. I'm out. Goes to play baseball. Says,
yeah, that's crazy time.
I'm going to come back. I'm number 45. Doesn't feel right. I'm going to go back and I'm going to win an entire championship all over again. On Father's Day, for my dad. And the way he broke down after that game, I was like, if you're not passionate about anything, the way he feels right now to win like that, you're not living life.
Yeah.
And it was so moving. And I was like, I get who you had to be that great. It's different. It's different when you want something so bad that you know you can do. You have to rely on everybody else being as great as you are to match your speed. And if they're not there, they're just not there. And there's nothing you could do. You can't force greatness to somebody else. Or you can, because you've seen it. A Michael Jordan didn't have 10 other Michael Jordans to roll with him.
Right.
LeBron doesn't have 10 other LeBrons to roll with him. It's like, I'm going to make you great so we can be great. I'm great. I know that. So let's go. And I felt that in my spirit. Oh, I felt that.
Come on with the word, Pastor.
Dance. It's amazing. It's amazing.
That is such a great testimony. And I love that, because I remember that when it was happening too.
Right.
And my brothers were just so like, and I didn't get it, but it's clear that you are very in love with that man of yours. Oh, yeah. Look at her. Oh, the light up of it. Oh,
it makes me.
Girl.
That's my black werewolf.
Ooh, she got her. Where his varsity jacket sits, does he have one?
Listen, that is my varsity jacket wearing black werewolf. No haircut. He has no idea how much this is turning me on. I mean, he does now, but. He's like, like, you
I
feel
feel like
me?
he might.
Just throw it on out. Throw it out.
Oh my gosh. But what have you learned about yourself as a wife that you didn't know before you got married? Has anything been revealed to you?
That I need somebody so much. Nah, for real. Like, I've always relied on me. I can show up for me. I can be there for myself. To need someone the way I do now, that I love somebody else as much as, if not more, than I love me, it's next level for a Leo Black woman. It just is. And that has, in the early stages of our relationship, was a challenge to work with. I'm like, what the F is happening to me? Like, why am I, me, selfish Marsh, selfish,
Huh.
too, not in a bad way. I think there are too many negative
Right.
connotations to the word selfish. Selfless at points, but selfish where I'm about what makes me happy. And now that he does, and it's reciprocated in a way that I've never had before, oh my God, I will go to the end of the earth for you. And I've never wanted to do that for anybody other than myself. So I feel like that was the biggest learning curve, and
That's real.
surprise that I didn't know love actually did. And it does. So for anyone that actually wants that, you then realize that you're on this planet to build and enjoy and breathe the same air as somebody that you would give your last breath to. Nuts.
Look at that.
Mm.
Anybody else?
It is a
Me
song waiting to
butterflies.
happen. No, it's several songs waiting to happen. Yeah.
That is just so precious and sweet, and I love that for you.
Thank you.
That's beautiful. Like, did you feel at any moment, do you feel like, okay, now I've learned to embrace, because you said it's been 5 years, I've learned to embrace this love that I have prayed for, and I do believe I deserve it. Have you had the moment?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. It wasn't easy. And it's crazy how it happens and why it happens. But when it did, it was overwhelming. It was, God forbid this all ends now. And during these trying times, I remember having a show in Nashville, March 11th of this year. And it was 2 shows a night, an early show and a late show. Right after the early show, I found out the NBA was canceling. And that something bigger was happening than what we'd
Right. When that
anticipated.
happened, we were all like,
Feeling under the weather, but not like a regular cold or a flu or anything that I'd experienced before. And I was like, yo, what if I really had the Rona? Just didn't know, just running around here with coronavirus. Like, I think that moment where my husband was like, babe, it's time to come home. Like, come home. I remember doing that gig, coming home, and knowing that the world would change after that day.
oh,
And I was saying to my band, I was like, look, this might be our last gig in a while. And, you know, I keep them on the road. I'm the paycheck. We are the paycheck. We show up for each other. And I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen next, but I pray you go home and love on your loved ones right now, because this is going to get tough. And just waking up to text messages, seeing that, you know, friends' parents have passed away.
I know.
Like, it's too close. It's real. It's not something that's happening on the news fair a distance. I feel like in America, how the news is delivered here is way different from the UK. So I tune into BBC just to see what's actually happening, and then how it's being portrayed. It's 2 different versions of journalism happening here. So by the time the coronavirus is a global pandemic,
Yeah.
I don't know when we go back to normality.
Or what that even is.
Or when it, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, having built what I've built over the course of 2 decades for sure, almost 3 professionally, it's did it all lead to what this is now? To get into your happy, to know that, okay, I can persevere through this because I have stability at home. This wasn't about, oh, well, what about work? Don't even know when that's going to be. Am I happy?
Yeah.
Do I have people that can support me during this time? Am I absolutely terrified because if something happened to any of my loved ones overseas, vice versa, we can't move. We can't go anywhere.
Right.
Can't do anything. So my panic attacks are, looking at my alerts in the morning to make sure I don't have any text messages or there isn't an e-news or people or who passed away that day. It's traumatic in a different way. I don't want to look on Facebook again and see who made it or who didn't. It's real, it's happening. And I'm not saying there's nothing that we can do, but the things that you can't control, don't attempt to. The things that you can, though, oh, just love someone. Please, now is the time. Because we just don't know. I know you can press play, a song of mine or whoever's and get through because of that. If that's my small part to play in what, that comfort is for others, then okay, I've done something. But each and every one of us has to be able to do something. If you have your circle of, well, it might not be a circle, it might be an entire tribe of people, your family, your friends, please hit everybody up. Not everyone is okay, even when they say they are. Like it will take, I've got friends that it takes 5 times to be like, nah, but you cool? You're like, yeah, nah, you good?
You
No,
gotta really dig for it sometimes,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. You good? I'm good. For real? Well, and then you get an entire movie version of what's actually going on. So if you have to dig and prod and press just to get dialogue, if you have no one to talk to, find someone. I remember being over here, I did feel like an orphan. I didn't have immediate family that I can go and, share and pour my heart out to. So I would confide in strangers because what do I have to lose? But I had to get it out. I couldn't hold on to these emotions alone.
Yeah.
It's okay to do that. We're all on this planet experiencing the same thing differently.
Yeah.
Share. It helps.
Listen, I'm bad about it. I'll just be like, can I just ignore it? Is that okay?
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of different, I'm always just all over the place with it. I'm not really sure where I am.
Same.
Processing is weird. I've had to be there for people that I do consider friends, but not super close, but they're a person that's close to me enough to where his mother passed and he sat and talked to me on the phone for 3 hours. And I was like, I don't really have this kind of time. But at first I was like, but I'm just listening. Because he doesn't know what he's going to do. He doesn't, he didn't know where he was going to go because places are closed and other places are full. And I didn't even consider all of those things. You just think, oh, well, losing them is bad enough. But no, they have to go through what they're going through, but also figure out the literal next steps. So it's just people, you just don't know. And so I'm just trying to be sensitive to that, but it's so heavy.
It is. And I think prior to this even happening, the heaviness and weight of the African American experience that I've known and come to belong to is by itself an entire thing of its own. So
it's another layer on top.
And it's crazy. I remember going to my grandfather's funeral. Both my grandparents are African American, my grandfathers. So Texas based. I remember being in Texas and they're all military. And I remember the American flag over the coffin and the salute shots in the air. And it was surreal in a sense. But I remember about a week ago, I dreamt about that moment. And it must have been because my good friend's father had passed away. And I was like, he doesn't get to do that part. He doesn't even get to say goodbye.
Right.
There's no processing that portion of the grief. uh, how how do you push through? How? So
Yeah,
I
and I'm
get it.
like,
This is
what do you even tell somebody?
yeah. So I get it, and that's someone relatively close to, because I've worked with them over a course of years, so I care in that way. But like you said, the friends or associates where we're not close, but we come across each other. If I'm at Essence Fest, I'm gonna see you. If I'm in New
Yeah,
York having events, we're not close, but we know of each other. There's a sense of belonging and networking and family that we have to create in order to get through what this is. Because we don't
exactly.
know if this is all we're gonna have. From now on, we can't do Essence Fest online. It's an entire
We
different
have no
experience.
idea.
So, yeah. So as loved ones getting older, or whoever, I'm now concerned about people who've fallen ill at a point that are vulnerable to what's going on right
On
now.
top, right.
There's too many things. So just being there for each other in a sense kind of makes it easier to think about, if I ever had to get to that point, do I have anyone? Yeah, you
Yeah.
do. The world is going through this. You are not by yourself in this. So you will find some sense of closure or some way to get through it. But to do it alone, it's not it.
No, not at all. Not at all. And that's what's so horrible about this is that, because of the virus itself, people can't be with anyone, in those spaces. So it's just like it's crazy. But I'm glad that for the people who are getting a chance to take an actual pause in life and reevaluate, look inside, and do all these things that are helpful to themselves. It's really, on that regard, it's actually really nice to be able to have it where the entire world is on hold at one time.
For me, like, really speak on that. Not really speak on it, but acknowledge that this is the time to reset for real. Of all the
Yeah,
times we ever complained about a job that we hated or we needed a break, this is your time to literally start from ground up on who you're trying to be from this day forward. Because everything's changed for everybody. So use it. Ain't no going on. Who wants to go to the mall? Who really wants to get their nails done right now? Like, this can wait. Like, there's two sides of it. The people that are fighting, like, this is like, you're being repressed in some way because you're not allowed to go to work. Then go to work. It hasn't worked out for every other country that attempted to do this too early. So if you are fighting for your right to party, go on and go ahead and become another number. Like I said, a meme, or maybe it was true. The internet is always interneting. But someone was like, "Oh, you want to get your hair and your nails done, and my business is booming right now because I'm a mortician and it's popping down here right now."
that me.
like,
Like, here's the place
I've
where you
got
can get it
gray
done.
hairs growing out of more than just this head, okay? We're just gonna have to deal with
Listen,
it.
did you do this French braid situation? Is that you? Is that
Yeah,
Marsha?
this is like two. Your part. This is the I swim and play basketball every day. So you just twist it
No,
back
that
and
looks fashionable. That looks like a tutorial waiting to happen.
oh, you know what? I might do that. This was the Crown special.
That looks
We'll
cute.
call it, yeah, the Crown Royale.
But the Black women, that's what we do.
Yeah.
Like, we out here, we're doing our own stuff,
We've got to
figuring it
figure
out.
it out. Like, come on now. Just figure it out. We'll be okay. We're all going to get through this, but please take your
We will
time.
get through it.
Take your time.
Listen, I want to know. Oh, first, Marsha. Back in the day, I used to review music, and I know we've had a working relationship for years.
Right.
But I remember I tweeted about your album as I was reviewing it. I think it was the mixtape. And I was
Oh,
like, oh,
which
Marsha
one?
just, I feel like she wastes her talent on talking about little trivial things, da, da, da. And you blocked me.
No!
You
Wait,
blocked me on Twitter.
what
Marsha,
did
I'm still
you do?
blocked on Twitter.
What mixtape was this?
I think it was either, at the time, I was either doing it for YRB magazine, or I helped with the
Yeah.
resurgence of Honey. We had a whole interview.
Oh, do you know what? What I will own is that maybe I did block you because, like I said, I'm a Leo. I'm sensitive about my ish. And
I knew
even
it
if
had
it
to
was the
do with
mixtape,
that.
I'm pretty sure it was probably Neo
Because
Soul.
I was like live tweeting my review or something
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
yeah. So I was probably
And it was for your
running
mixtape.
high at the time and didn't care that you didn't understand where I was in my life.
I was like,
Even
Marsha.
now, for anybody who has anything negative, I can't do it. There's too many other things that are too positive for me to acknowledge anybody that has anything
Well,
negative.
it was a different time
Even
too.
if it was a critique in a way where, like, sis, I'm really trying to be here for you. Didn't want to at the time.
No, years later,
Oh.
Instagram came out. I followed you on Instagram. You followed back. There have been no issues. I was like, I wonder if she knows that I'm blocked on Twitter.
Oh no, I don't.
I checked the other day. I was like, I wonder if I still am.
Phase in my life. I was in a
I
whole.
figured, because I also was hypercritical. Huge. I've always been a fan of yours, but I was like, damn, this mixtape. She just talking about, like, I hope he cheat on you. Like, come on, Marsha. I'm a music purist.
I will own that. I will own that. I'll own it.
I was like, oh, Marsha. But you know what? It's all love now. Like I said.
Always.
It was all love.
Always.
But yes,
Always.
still blocked. I was like, that was angry Marsha. She's different now. She's a mother. She's a wife.
2011 through, no, not even 2007 through.
It was early because I was doing music reviews early.
Savage Marsh. Jesus.
Yeah, this was like back when I used to go and have the album play for me in the office. Because you couldn't like send it out.
The good old days. Yeah.
The good old days. But one question I wanted to ask you,
okay.
Do you feel like you're the type of artist that you wanted to be when you set out to do music?
Absolutely. Absolutely. When I set out, it was the premise to make sure that my idea of music was heard, whether that was my, like I said, my early Jodeci influence, as far as how I stack my harmonies, as far as how I arrange music, as far as how honest my pen is, and that's listening to Stevie Wonder, Prince, Michael Jackson, no particular order, as far as what they encapsulate as my ideal art. Yeah, even as far as the type of artist that I wanted to be for the level of fandom or celebrity, if you will. Like, people want A-list, and then there's, the other letters. I've always been another letter because I have A-list friends that I don't think I could live that type of lifestyle to become who you have to be that. I still want to go to Target. I'm that person. So I've done things intentionally where I've allowed myself a life as well as being able to do what it is that I do at the same time. So it's still very much approachable. It's still very much accessible, even though my actual people hate that because they understand that I do A-list level work, but won't take the credit for it or will just let it be. And I love that, though. I've never really wanted to be the foreground of anything. I've always wanted to be behind the scenes, and that's it. I didn't even want to Spike Lee it because Spike Lee is in them movies and directs them things. I literally want to be in the seat going, you go and you do this.
He does like to be
perfect. All of you famous people, you go ahead, you famous people. You go ahead, Justin Timberlake. Cry you a river. Go on.
Right. Because
So
you are good at that also.
Yeah, and I love that aspect of this. And it's only because people enjoyed what it is that I actually do that I'm like, oh, I might try this artist thing on the side, see what happens. And it happened. And there's nothing I could do to stop it. However, I've made it an effort to control it in a way. And that's been the part where I'm allowed to just go ahead and be peacefully pregnant, go ahead and peacefully be in a marriage where it isn't scrutinized on an E-News or People or TMZ. I don't even know how my people do it. I listen, salute. There's no way it could be me. I've been in jail already. I blocked you a long time ago, Danielle. So just know
like
me
I'm here. No, that's so real. Because that's also a lot of the same thing that Denzel preaches. Like, he's like, I'm not that.
Yeah.
This is my job. I'm good at it. People tend to love him because of that. But he's not like, hey, paparazzi, meet me down at so-and-so.
Couldn't imagine. I've got to go with security everywhere. Oh no, I couldn't imagine. But
I don't want that type of life.
I do get that there is a separation there. And my husband, he's always like, Marsha, you have to realize that you are you know. You do know this.
People still know.
But at the same time, I'm very much, you know, just Marsh. I don't know how else to not just be just Marsh. And where I forget, I am easily reminded, and try to manage it in a way where I'm comfortable with it. Because it can go left or it can go really right, or it can go really, really left. And there's too many horror stories. And I get it now. Like I said, them tears that I cried to my mother in the middle of the night were for several reasons. Mom, I'm so sorry that the day that I called you and said, I'm not coming home, what that felt like. My 22, 23-year-old daughter saying, you're moving to Philly. What do you mean? Who are these people? Oh, it's just a touch of jazz. They just did this album, you know, with Jill Scott and Music Soul Child. Listen to this song. Like, imagine telling your parents that. Nyla wishes she would. Oh, you wish you. And I have to accept it. You know what I'm saying?
I don't want to be nobody's mama. Because you're 22. Yeah. You don't know nothing about nothing, and everybody is out here. There's predators.
Tell me that, and even my dad.
And music industry, girl.
No. So
y'all would have been mad at me. Y'all would not have had Marsha Ambrosius if I was your
So
mom.
imagine summer of 2000. I tell them that I don't come home. I have a deal by December. I'm in the studio with Michael Jackson by March of the following year. And then Floetic happens. So my life hasn't stopped since the day I decided to say, you know what, I'll take a chance on just being great. If everyone's saying it, not everybody can be wrong. So I'll just take the external for right now. Marsha, get out of your own head. Don't fear this. Just go. And once I decided to actually go, it was on. Nothing I could do to stop it. Nothing. Still, nothing I could do.
Listen, God bless the parents that are able to let their children fly. God bless. Because I really would have stopped all the Floetry from happening if I was your mama. No. Get on the plane. Get on the plane.
So you had me in tears at Nipsey's funeral.
Oh, yeah.
That was the hardest thing I've ever been asked to do, ever.
To do Nipsey's tribute?
Yeah. I remember getting the call from Karen. And it's like, even when I saw her, I'll never forget it. We were driving from Vegas to LA and I seen Karen's number come up. And I knew what she was going to ask me. I just knew it for some reason. And it hurt in an entire different space, even from when I first heard that he'd been killed. Yeah. And the fact that I have to say that, it's not, he didn't pass away, he was killed. It's different.
Literally murdered.
So the emotion is different. A lot of anger. And she was like, he would have wanted you to do this. He always said in the event that this happened, he wanted you to sing that particular song. And I was like, Mariah, are you serious, man? And that song makes me cry anyway.
Like,
I'm touching Mariah. Nobody on the planet. Like, I've been watching this versus stuff. There's no one's got nothing for Mariah.
She would just be sitting and playing her own music.
Throw everything, okay? She's bigger than the Beatles, okay? So I remember rehearsing for it and talking to 1500 or Nothing, my brothers, Mars, all of them, and getting the musical arrangement of how they wanted to do it. And I couldn't get through one line without breaking down. I remember sitting there with my manager, Jay, and he was like, this is a tough one. I literally have nothing for you. There's not a word of encouragement like, go get them. It's not one of those. This is tough.
Yeah.
And watching that video montage and hearing My Way, I can't listen to that. I can't listen to Stevie Wonder's Rocket Love ever again. One of my favorite songs ever made.
Ever.
I can't bring myself to press play. Oh, I'm even tearing up thinking about the first notes of that song. Oh, no. So
I was about to hum it. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah. No. So
now I can't get it out of my head.
Yeah. So to be there and celebrate his life and watch his mother joyous as the day that we performed Lady, and it was myself, his mom, Lauren, dancing at the side of the stage right before we performed Real Big. And I hated the Staples Center ever since. I needed to bring joy back into that building for it to make sense again. I'm like, the Staples Center, I've been in there and won Grammys. I've lost Grammys. I've watched the best of the best play basketball in that building. Kobe building. There's been too many things happen over the course of no time. And that one right there was the most, I can't even watch it. I hate looking at a picture of myself there. It's like a whole body. I don't even believe I did that. I just remember getting ready at the hotel and then being back at the hotel to watch the procession when he took over the streets of LA.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the craziest thing I ever did. Crazy.
But we loved you. It was beautiful. We loved that. I know it was hard, but it was amazing. Thank you for sharing that with us too.
Oh, good.
What has been your favorite part of this journey, or what has been the most complicated part?
My favorite part of the journey is the journey. It's now we're having this conversation and I get to answer questions from people that are interested or intrigued by what that is.
Love you down, girl. They love you.
My Leo self knows it on the
Well,
low.
we.
Chill out. No. So I think the complications are, we can only apply it to right now. I've got to rely that my mother at 9:18 p.m. in the UK, in London, in Liverpool, and my family are tuned in to this part to check on how's Marsh? How's our Marsh? What's she doing?
Aww.
The back of my head. That's a complicated relationship that I've had to have with my family over the course of this time in doing all of these wonderful things that they support in such a way. But there's layers to it. Well, where are we doing Christmas this year? We do not know. But I'd have been doing the same thing without, being able to go outside. But doing the thing that I'm doing now without quarantining. This is me enjoying life. So you'll get news and a bunch of concerts because of it. And late nights, early mornings. 10-year anniversary is coming up. So lots of hope she cheats on you with a black werewolf in a varsity jacket. We're gonna do the remix.
I hope she cheats on you with a varsity jacket wearing werewolf.
Yeah. I don't know whether or not there's this perception that I just sit tea and burn incense and
you give us one soulful tune and we're like, wow, she's a peace queen.
You know what? This is probably why I blocked you, because you figured
I was like, she's peace queen. That's my kind of girl.
I'm
And
like,
now she's talking ratchet, and I don't understand her. Marsha.
Well,
That's exactly what it was.
I was like, oh, she doesn't know me. Look.
What?
Oh, you don't know me.
That's exactly what it was. Because I was like, what's she talking about?
Oh my God.
It's supposed to be about incense right now and love. Natural hair.
A little cup of tea and some like, what's going on? Like,
you're like, I'm not that girl.
like, oh, I'm not. And thankfully, I wasn't put in a position where I had to prove that,
like,
overtly, because that's
listen,
what
I had to
grow in this industry. And fortunately, it didn't have to go that far.
Yeah. Lo and behold is what I love about you most anyway, is that you're not that girl.
Right.
There's no crystals. There's no sage.
No,
got it.
No. At the end of the week, you missed the sage day. You missed the
we missed the sage and the libation day. Tune in next when we talk about healthy wombs. And actually, yeah.
Drink cranberry juice, ladies. Cranberry.
Clean it out. But Marsha, I adore you.
I adore you too.
You're so the best. I just have such a great time with you every time.
Always, even when I block you, and it's gonna come.
We got to the bottom of the mystery. I knew what I had done. I knew I live tweeted something that I was like, old Marsha was not feeling that. Yeah. We got to the bottom of it.
Yeah, and
it's all love now.
Beautiful. Look at the journey to dinners in New York, and we're chilling at a round table full of greatness.
Listen, your baby running around.
We were back then, you know, because we all go through our ish, and to get through it and be here to live to tell the tale, just count your blessings, and it's been beautiful, and I appreciate you, sister. Like, seriously, just be you.
That's what I got, girl.
Yeah, like
that's all I got. That's all I got.
All you need.
Receive.
All you need.
You preached some words on today. I appreciate you giving us everything. You gave us so much time too. Thanks for jumping on again.
Oh,
thank you for sharing everything that you shared about Prince, about Michael. Like, your stories are epic. I live for them. Thank you. It's such a gift.
I appreciate you.
So thank you, Marsha. Where do we see you, girl? We said no concerts. You chilling, relaxing during the Rona. I keep seeing people say new music. Are y'all not banging Nyla still? Because I'm still.
I know. Well,
I'm still playing Nyla.
I know. Like, How High is like one of the greatest songs of all time.
You heard me. That's the song that I chose to play.
We're playing that. No, it's the one. It is. It does something to my whole.
Who do you think you are? Okay.
I know. I did have a who do I. I listened to my albums outside of myself, going, whoever wrote that, that's one that.
Whoa, girl, I want some of that.
Yeah. So yeah, with this new album, it's definitely because of quarantine, even in its artistic approach, and it will be much appreciated. And I will absolutely take credit for all of these quarantine babies and bays that become because of it.
We are not ready, Marsha. Are you kidding?
There's one song on there that's too much. Like, as soon as it comes on, you just have to lower your head, and it's one of those.
I can already feel it.
Like, you have this time, and the rest of the time you're just like this.
Oh no, I'm not ready.
I feel like I pull the trigger when I know I'm ready for you to receive it. And I feel like I'll do it in the Leo way, where no, you're not going to be ready, but you're going to get it. Oh, you'll get it.
Oh,
and
God.
I will absolutely be held accountable for it.
I'm not ready already, Marsha. I cannot wait. I cannot wait.
Confined to my space, so in my studio, this is the most control I've had over an album, late nights and early mornings. Because with late nights and early mornings, I produced and wrote the majority of it. So this time all over, I've got no choice. It's just me, my equipment, and I'm sending stuff to my
to be
like, can you mix this? Can you mix this? send to my manager, do we have to clear this sample? I only use this part. No. So we're clearing samples and getting it done, and I'm going to put it out and just let you make love to it. I'm excited. I haven't been this excited since Late Nights and Early Mornings, to be honest. I love all of my albums, but like that first feeling, this is a first. I've never done an album under these circumstances. So it's just...
Yeah, this is different, and it's going to be something good for all of us. Yeah. Are we supposed to expect it at some point soon, or are we just we're patiently waiting?
It's coming.
Just no expectations, guys. I tried.
Yeah, just know.
Just be her fan and be there when it's there.
And you'll be like, oh my God, it's here. It's here.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's going to be so cute. I love it. Marsha, thank you. We love you so much.
Love you much. And
I cannot wait to see you again in real life.
I know, in real life when we get outside, I promise.
Congratulations, right? Congratulations in advance, and we love you so much.
Thank you. Love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you soon.
Bye, Marsha.
Mwah. Love you.
Real quick with that, real with that.